Yashala, Yahweh, Alahaganawa, Yahweh, Ahad, Shema, Yashala, Yahweh, Alahaganawa, Yahweh, Ahad, Shema, Yashala, Yahweh, Alahaganawa, Yahweh, Ahad, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shai, Bahasara Kakudash. I want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel, as well as peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. I'm Zahab, Spirit Wind Lawyer. All right, today I want to go into a live stream. All right, basically entitled "Is Her Fault." All right, basically entitled "Is Her Fault." All right. And the reason I want to go into this today is, watching different videos and meditating on certain things. All right, there's a narrative, a storyline in Babylon that it's the man's fault. And from the Jake world, the Israelite, the so-called black in America world, it's the so-called black man's fault. All right. And in every space, all right, that you see so-called black women in, is basically deflecting something on the so-called black man. All right, you not making enough money is not your fault. Hey, Shalom, elder. All right, you not making enough money is somehow a problem now. All right, or so-called black men, so-called black women complaining about the so-called black man. Now in Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, it tells you that she'll have an evil eye towards the husband of her bosom, man. And really, that's manifested in feminism, man. All right, that's manifested in feminism, man. Her having that evil eye, that evil philosophy, that evil mindset towards the so-called black, Hispanic, and Native American man. All right. Meanwhile, we're in the belly of the beast, under the rulership of the most destructive man in existence, man. It tells you in Maccabees that when Alexander's generals went out, all right, wickedness multiplied within the earth, roughly paraphrasing, which Alexander is the son of Philip of Macedon. All right, Alexander is the son of Philip of Macedon, and the Macedonians, pursuant to Esdras and the Apocrypha, all right, the Macedonians, all right, were of Amalek, because it tells you that Haman was a Macedonian. Yeah, it tells you Haman was a Macedonian. So if Haman was a Macedonian and Philip was a Macedonian, and Philip was an Amalekite, and the Amalekites go back to who? Esau, Edom. Which means that Alexander goes back to Esau, Edom. All right. And when these men came into rulership with their first empire, started with the Greeks, that's when wickedness spread throughout the earth. And that's why our women who've acculturated into these Grecian philosophies, all right, they're demons now, because they're under the philosophy of a demon. A woman who's a feminist, a woman who subscribes to Western philosophies, really, she's a demon. All right. She's a demon. All right. But just like you can't go to a fast food establishment, all right, indulge in the instant gratification that their fast food establishment serves you, just like you can't go there and turn around, complain about your health issues, all right, and blame the establishment, you can't jump out into this cesspool, all right, through the Western way, and then complain about the outcome. All right. You put yourself out there like that, Eve. And certain things that you do are formalities, in a sense that it's normal to you, and you might not even feel that it's a bad thing, because that was just the environment. All right. When I was 15, 16, I used to sag, right? Just a Jake in an urban area. I wasn't the worst person on earth, but I used to sag, and I thought that was just regular. Like, I felt weird not sagging, you see? But it was a formality in that environment, you see? I was thinking about getting tattoos. A lot of brothers got tattoos. They didn't think it was evil. It was just a formality. But now that we are new creatures, we understand that this is not what the Heavenly Father wants. All right? The Heavenly Father has a way of conduct for his people. Same thing with Eve. you probably feel that certain outfits are sexy or do look cute in this outfit. I don't know your mind, you see? But in the world of Yahweh Bashim Hawashai, all right, in the world of Israel, that's just classified as whoredom. All right? That is classified as whoredom, man. You know? You might have been so deep into the culture where, you know, you grew up in certain cultures. The culture is the counter, whatever you believe so-called men are doing. So with the things that how a man move in the hood or how a man move in America, your whole thing was to counter that. You know, you and your friend girls or whatever, man. But now, within the world of Yahweh Bashim Hawashai, you understand your role and why you're here on this earth. Okay? You may have gone through certain traumas. You may have seen your mom with sorry niggas, or you may have seen your sister struggle with them kids, so they might have given you this ultra independent mindset, like I'm not gonna depend on no man. And you know, certain things did, you know, women have traumas too, you know. But now you understand that those were the curses, and now you have to come into your place of royalty, man. All right. But going back to why I did this live stream, Eve complains about the Israelite man, but you jumped into feminism. It tells you in the scriptures that such have turned aside after Satan. What do you think Satan is, man? It's Esau's philosophies, which engender feminism, which feminism is rooted in Satanism. The first wave feminists, because they would have you think that, like, they have us think that the first wave feminists, they weren't really evil like that. No, the first wave feminists, they commended the serpent for being brave enough to go against God, go against the Most High. These were the first wave feminists in the 1800s. They commended the serpent for being brave enough to question the Most High, to be daring enough to question the patriarch. It's the first wave feminists. All right? You see? So your philosophy as a modern woman is rooted in ultimately Satanism. And one of the characteristics and one of the elements of Satanism is individualism. And the so-called black woman in America, all right, I don't even know if I can say black woman anymore, but the so-called black woman in America is the ultra individualist, man. She lives in her own reality, in her own apartment complex, at work, whatever. On her social media, she's an ultra individualist, man. All right. So what I'm saying is, you can't complain about the outcome of men when you decided to jump into the cesspool, because they're not dealing with you according to the standards of modernization. Most men are inherently on the conservative end of the spectrum, or the traditional end of the spectrum. All right. Most women are single because you want men to deal with you based off this modern garbage that you've inherited, man. And it doesn't work. 50% of marriages end in divorce. 80 to 90% of divorces are initiated by women. All right. 30 to 40% of married men who get tested, DNA tested, are not the father. It's a game at this. It's a joke at this point, man. So men are stepping away, but there's a right way, you know. And I say this because there are social constructs and social conditionings, all right, that have you doing the wrong way, and it doesn't even feel wrong, you know. Most of us brothers had dreads, twists. You know, most of us had dreadlocks, or we might have had them taper fades and a crisp lineup. It didn't feel wrong. When we were at the barbershop in the world, and we had that taper fade, and we had that crisp line, and it was pouring them chemicals, and your hairline burnt the fuck up. Yeah, top of your head was sizzling. Chemical reaction on your head. You know, it didn't feel evil. Not to me. I wasn't being presumptuous. It just that was a formality. That was part of the culture. A lot of brothers was that was in the streets. But that was how that was raised. But now it tells you that we are a new creature. But now we're looking at the matrix. We're looking at Jake that hasn't waken up from the Matrix because Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua didn't wake them up. Now we're looking at them like, man, they're lost. All right, they're lost. But Eve is complaining, but you can't deviate from tradition and then complain that you don't have a traditional outcome. You deviated from tradition. You put them yoga pants on. All right, you didn't put yourself out there, all right, without settling down for one man or reserving yourself for one man. You did that. And I'm here to say you may have done that because of the culture, but now you have to, for lack of better words, deculturate yourself. Now you have to acculturate yourself into the way of our forefathers, man. It tells you in Jeremiah 6 to turn you to the old paths, man. All right, if we want to get delivered, all right, if we want to get delivered, we're going to have to put down Babylon and pick up Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua. All right, everything is a sacrifice, man. Everything comes with a sacrifice. You can't have your cake and eat it too. I'm gonna tell you what's shined upon in the eyes of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua, where it says in the scriptures, seek ye the Most High in your youth. Seek the Heavenly Father in your youth. Seek the Heavenly Father in your youth. That's the sacrifice. The Most High don't want you when you old and you gave a fatling offering to the king of Babylon, meaning you've given your best years to living after the flesh. The Most High doesn't want somebody that gave their best years to living after the flesh. All right. The Most High, and the same thing with a man. The man is like the Most High. You instinctively don't want a woman who gave your best years to the streets, best years living after the flesh. You want something that's a little more reserved. Might not be perfect, but a little more reserved, a little more conservative, man. But you can't give your fatling offering, all right, to Baal, all right, to Babylon, and then get upset when Yahushua doesn't deliver you. Now this is a twofold message, you know, because I'm talking about in the spirit and I'm talking about Eve, man. Same thing with Cain and Abel. Abel gave that fatling offering. Cain didn't get that fatling offering, man. But then he envied Abel. You see? You know? But it's okay. But once again, you can't partake in a degenerate culture, the culture of Babylon, then complain about the outcome. Because what I've seen, the same women who complain about so-called black men, they're highly sexually promiscuous. I remember Summer Walker wrote something about the so-called black man in America, how basically he's sorry and he's this and that, and this is a result of the legacy of slavery. But in the same breath, she was pregnant and twerking. Pregnant and twerking. Then you talk about the legacy of slavery with the so-called black man as though you weren't affected by the legacy of slavery. You weren't affected by feminism. You know? Just watch these women on their podcast. In one breath, they're talking about the so-called black man and the problems with him. And in another breath, they're sexually promiscuous. They have no fucking shame, man. It's like you said, I don't know if brothers ever had a rat problem. I hope you did not have a rat problem. But it's like you set a rat trap out, then you came home from work hoping to have a rat trapped in your trap, and all thing you see is the rat is missing and the cheese is missing. Niggas master the art of getting what they want and not following your little modern standard, you know? Or you know how Eve look at you funny because she wears some half naked stuff, but she looking at you funny. That's like once again you set that sticky glue rat trap out, right? This time it's a sticky glue rat trap, but the only thing that she trapped was roaches. It's not my problem that you didn't get that guy you wanted, you know? You see? But the problem is, who told you to set this trap out? Who told you to wear that shit? You know? You can only serve two guys. The Most High told you to put some clothes on. Edom told you to take your clothes off. So you showing your action what God you serve, but don't complain about the shitty outcome. The Most High said you only supposed to be with one man. Say said you could do as thou wilt till you ready to settle down. And even then you probably gonna step out. So you showing your actions who God you serve. The Most High said to be a keeper of the house, that you will help me to your husband. Say said, what husband? All right. So what God does Eve serve? You showing your actions what God you serve, man. Same thing with a nigga. Same thing with Jake. Yeah, you got Chester Ray Borgia, you got Crispus Serapis tatted on you, but you show in your actions who you worship, man. Most High wants you to control your lower nature, control your flesh, and follow his way. Satan tells you can be ruled by your lower nature. So a nigga shows in his actions through his adultery, all right, through his deceit, through his indulgences, through his vices, what God he serves. That's why the first law, the first plank law in the 10 Commandments is thou shalt not serve no other God but me. Because every God comes with their rules. Every God comes with their liberties and their leniencies. And our people love to serve gods that allow them to live after the flesh. So Esau, Edom, he's a God right now. He's esteemed as a God, light bearer. So, and his God is Satan. So he's going to instill the philosophies of Satan, which is what? Live after the flesh, or what he calls do as thou wilt. So our people have a philosophy of do as thou wilt, do what is thou wilt. And then complain about the shitty outcome, all right? You know? So, hey man, hey, the majority of our people are gonna die. The majority of our women are definitely gonna die, man. All right? And you gotta ultimately turn back to Yahweh B'Hashem Havashai. You're gonna have to turn back to Yahweh B'Hashem Havashai. And you're gonna have to do it before it's too late. And it's almost too late now. The ark is closing. The doors of the ark is closing, man. Okay? The doors of the ark is closing. All right? As it says in the scriptures, all right, roughly paraphrasing, that she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth, man. All right? And I want to say this too, man, based off things that I've done in my life, mistakes that I've made, you know, and I'm relatively young. You know, we've only been in this truth for seconds, man. We've only been in this truth for a second or two, man. All right, we're nowhere where the apostles are, you know. But one thing I've learned: don't let this world make you forget that you're a leader, man. That you're a king, and I'm not saying king to be like just saying it. Like, don't forget that you're the leader, man. You know, like it's a subtle atmosphere. It's a subtle philosophy in this world that you don't merit being a leader. You don't merit being, you know, the king. All right, we have to heal from Babylon, man. All right, and I don't mean king like you walk in an establishment being an asshole, but you're the king of your own world, your apartment, your house, whatever. That's your thing, man. All right. So don't let this world take that from you. All right. Yeah, we have to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves, but we also have to esteem ourselves, man, because a lot of things that we put up with or allow to happen to us is the result of we've allowed this world to insidiously break us down. You know, it may be very subtle, but it sort of breaks you down, man. This society breaks down the confidence of a man, especially a so-called Black, Hispanic, Native American man. It breaks you down because in every space, you are at a substandard position. All right, you either in a substandard position or there's some philosophy that you are the problem, man. All right, so I know I'm just going in different directions, you know, through the spirit, but nonetheless, I had some things on my spirit, man. All right. I had some things on my spirit, you know, in this morning time, and I hope brothers and sisters are protected and covered by Yahweh B'Hashem Havashai on their way to work. Maybe you're working a night shift and you are on your way from work. or maybe you are at work, you know, but just remember who you are, Simba, you know, and our women understand that your esteem doesn't come, your glory doesn't come from being an actual god or a goddess in that sense. Your value really comes from being a princess under Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. All right, you are royalty. All right, but royalty doesn't mean slut. All right, royalty doesn't mean my body is divine and I have to show my body. That's the queen of heaven vibration. And I like doing these videos because I'm pretty sure you got sisters on here, they get faced with temptations of uploading certain pictures or moving in a certain way that could be feasible for them, but it's really not good in the spirit, you know. So, the sisters too, like, nah, you are royalty, because Eve in the world pushes this philosophy that not moderation. She pushes a mindset. She has a black or white mindset. She has an all or nothing mindset. That if she's dressing in moderation, that means she's dressing like a character on The Handmaid's Tale. Like, she doesn't understand the concept of style and grace. She doesn't understand the concept of elegance. All right. Hey, the wadi haba shema wasai ba shema kakudas. All right. Hey, it's all of the spirit, brother. But I know how it is being in America, man. I'm not always in the spirit of some, the hoorah, because first of all, you got to play it, you got to tone it down a couple of notches at work, but then even dealing with your woman, the spirit of this world is dealing with your woman. The spirit of really Satan, all right, is dealing with your dynamic, in the sense that he's trying to pick you apart, man. So you got to remember who you are, man. That's why these spaces, and even Jake in the World that has certain podcasts, they drop gems, and those gems remind you that, like, man, you're not the problem. Because even if you're an Israelite, I gotta clock in. I just looked at the time. But even if you're an Israelite, just being in this country and not pouring your heritage in you and not being reminded of who you are, you could get knocked down a little bit, man. But hey, with that, I hope you brothers and sisters were edified. Once again, I want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakak Wadash. I also want to give double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops of Great Millstone Ruel. Peace and blessings, health and wellness to the house of David the elect. Abba Babal, Kamiyah Shalom, Shalom.